So here we are again. NFL season 2025-26 and 52 years of this happy shit. How the hell did I get here to begin with? When I was 10 years old, I decided the Vikings had cool helmets. And being part Scandinavian didn't hurt that, so off and away. 1973, my first season as a Vikings fan. And we know how that ended. In a Super Bowl loss to my previous favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. And it's been a hell of a ride ever since then. Of course, they followed it up the next year by losing to the Super Bowl to the Steelers. And then they skip a little bit, and then they go forward and play Super Bowl 11 against the Raiders, a team they were supposed to stomp that wound up stomping their guts out. So much so that I refused to go to school after that Super Bowl because there was a Raiders fan in my Ohio history class, a kid named Paul Wilde, and I was afraid the kid was going to whip my ass because he had threatened to do so. All the ups and downs and the ins and outs from Fran Tarkenton and the Purple People Eaters and Chuck Foreman all the way through Tommy Shot and Beer Kramer and Whiskey Wade Wilson, the great Joey Browner. Then you get up into guys like the return of Randall Cunningham, Robert Smith, Randy freaking Moss, the GOAT, the Freak. And then we get to the 98 NFC Championship game. A day on which I think my heart broke harder than any day it has ever broken as a Vikings fan. John Randall was playing on a bum leg, and I am thoroughly convinced to this day that cost us the game. Also, me getting up and yelling, "We're going to the Super Bowl," before Anderson kicked the ball that missed. That didn't help things either. My superstitious ass. It was all my fault. And then, the years of drudgery and almost, and gonna be better, and it's gonna be great, and those quick flashes of brilliance that would just get snuffed out quicker than a candle in a hurricane once the playoffs came. Adrian Peterson, my God, that guy could run. He was something else. Brett Favre, when he came back and he played for us, we loved him just because it pissed off the fucking cheeseheads, man. And, again, another playoff game in 2009. It just was not to be, thanks to the hits that were put out on the part of the scumbags on the Saints coaching staff, particularly Sean Payton, who I still think is a piece of shit, to be perfectly honest with you about it. And we wrap it up all through the present time, and we get into, now we got Justin Jefferson. We got Hope. We got Adam Thielen back. We got McCarthy in at quarterback from Michigan, who we've got high hopes on. The defense is solid as a rock, going to cause all kinds of problems. And we've got one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL. And, of course, that's all led by Kevin O'Connell. And, again, we have cautiously optimistic hopes. And I think about it a lot, especially this season. My boyhood friend Mike Boyer grew up a Vikings fan with me. And we lived 2 houses away from each other. And that was the one thing we had together for many years. Him and his family, his sons are now Vikings fans. Isaac and Fred are now Vikings fans. And so they've continued the tradition, but Mike passed away this year. So it's going to be a hard season without him, but we're going to be there for him. And also, my dear friend, Walter Brown, better known as Butch, who was a big Bears fan, and Butch and I had a running bet every time the Bears and Vikings played for a 6-pack of beer that I don't think I ever actually paid him off. So one of these days, Butch, might have to wait until the next chapter, but I'm going to get you that beer if I have to go up there and pour it out on your plot up in Oak Hill Cemetery. But, of course, that's considering if the Bears win. And, of course, the Bears aren't going to win, but I'll do that for old Butch. I'll head straight over to Oak Hill Cemetery and pour out some Becks for him and a little bit of wild turkey too. But by God, here we go again. And every time I say I'm done, I'm finished, I can't stand no more, I come back for more of it. So, also want to send a shout out while I'm talking about the Chicago Bears. I also lost my dear friend, John J. Sheckelhoff. Worked with him at News Radio 570 WKBN and I Hate Media, iHeart, for many years, all the way back to Clear Channel. He's probably the biggest Bears fan I knew. And he and I, we gave it back and forth to each other, but as big of a Bears fan as he was and as big of a Vikings fan as I am, we always agreed on one thing: fuck the Packers. So we'll be missing Sheck this season too, but here we go all the way around. We're going to do it again, brothers and sisters. So God bless y'all. Let's have a great season, and Skol Vikings.